Well, the 13th of February 2008 was actually a month before the local government elections in Cairns. So I'd been really busily campaigning, and I knew that I needed to stop on that day to be able to find some people to celebrate with. I'd read that Sydney Council was actually going to have giant screens and a sausage sizzle, and everyone was being invited, and it was really going to be a real celebration of the day, and something that had taken a long, long time to happen. And so, of course, in Cairns, nothing. We had a council that didn't particularly have good relationships with Aboriginal people, and so nothing was organised. So the day before, I contacted some Aboriginal friends to find out what might have been on, and they informed me that the medical centre in Cairns, Wuchopperen, had actually organised to have some big screens and were inviting people to come along and share the day with them. People were gathered around on the lawn, under trees, just quietly in small groups. There weren't very many non-Indigenous people there at all. It was predominantly Aboriginal and Torres Strait Island people. I think everyone initially was very serious about it all, and they, at that stage, had no idea what Prime Minister Rudd was actually going to say. And then when he actually said, "I'm sorry," and "I'm sorry," and said it again and again, it wasn't a trivial word at all. It was just something that really needed to be said to enable any chance at all of genuine reconciliation between Aboriginal and non-Aboriginal Australia. People cried, so there were Aboriginal women sort of next to me with tears welling out of their eyes. It just really was an event of huge significance for Aboriginal people. The fact that the previous Prime Minister had been unable to say that word was quite shocking, really. He just did not understand how important it was to just genuinely to be able to say, for what happened, "I am sorry." Well, one of the first things I did as when I became Mayor on the 15th of March in 2008 was to actually plan the swearing in of council, and to ensure that there was an Aboriginal welcome to country was a key part of that ceremony. And that was not something that had ever happened in council previously. Right from the beginning, I wanted to signal that I was governing for everyone in this community, and that included Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people. One of the other things that I did was to actually form an Indigenous advisory group. Again, as part of that recognition that we need to be reaching out to Aboriginal people, listening to them, respecting where they come from, and getting advice in relation to how we actually develop our policies. Look, I'm not sure how Aboriginal people feel about the aftermath of the apology. I think that there perhaps is a greater acknowledgement across Australia, though, with non-Indigenous people, most of whom have very little interaction with Aboriginal people on a day-to-day basis. That they were the traditional owners of the land, that they were disrupted in really terrible ways, and that their lives have been impacted on from those events that happened 2 centuries ago. And not even 2 centuries ago. I mean, events that happened as recently as in a generation, where there's been prejudice, disadvantage, discrimination on almost a daily basis.